wants to start?
I will. What do you see out of your backups, Miles and Marcus, today?
Well, they're a little bit like popcorn. They pop and things are good, and then things not so good. You see flashes of the athleticism. They made some good throws, but they got to do a much better job making decisions and taking care of the football. I was disappointed in what they did adapt to that.
How did you? What is there a grade you give these guys? I mean, what did you see? What you like? How much?
I think grade-wise, to be fair, you got to look at the tape and pour over. What was the assignment? What was the defense? When you just see it, you don't know what the whole situation. So we'll reserve the grade, but not good enough to play for us and at the level we need them to play at. And they know that. They need to improve.
So no one really separated themselves?
No. And we've told our guys, the backup quarterback won't be decided until this fall. And, Brian Burrell will be healthy by then. We'll have Zach Greenlee will be here. It's wide open, and whoever plays best in the first couple of weeks of fall, they're going to be the number 2 guy.
Coach, you mentioned a little bit sloppy. From a fan standpoint, if they were here today, were they expecting the defense to be ahead of the offense, about even? I mean, what would you think as a fan that they wanted to see in terms of both sides?
Well, I think we held a lot of our older guys out today, and so it was about what I expected. I'm not sure what the fans expect. Most times in the spring, because of the timing, defense is typically a little bit ahead of the offense, and when you're playing against one offense, you kind of get a beat on what they do. But I thought there was, plays made on both sides. I liked how Malik Meisenheimer ran the ball. He's had a really good spring, and kind of, maybe the surprise of spring as far as a guy that we weren't really counting on as a tailback, more of a fullback, but he made some very effective runs. I thought T.J. Thomas ran the ball hard today and ran physical, and I like where we're at with our running back situation. Josh Quezada didn't play today, but he's had a great spring, and Martez Waller probably came in ahead of all those guys based on last year. He got dinged up a little bit, but he wants to compete. So I think we've got some really good depth at the running back position.
Are you more concerned about, as you head into this break and then you get ready for fall ball, are you more concerned about filling the holes on defense or filling the holes on your offensive line, or where do you feel like it's got to really sure things up?
I think probably the number one thing we've got to find out this fall is who's our starting offensive line. Alex Fafita was banged up most of the spring, didn't compete today. Justin Northern's getting better, but he's got a ways to go. So we're going to have an open competition there. We're going to have an open competition at one of the guard position. Patrick Kim got banged up. We were hoping that he was going to be a factor coming in. We've got a couple of JC guys and a couple of high school guys coming in this summer. It'll be a big camp for all those guys to compete and find out where we're at as far as offensive line. I think we're getting better, but we're not where we need to be. Part of the reason we're probably not as good as what we'd hope is I think we're pretty darn good on our defensive line. And so that disparity sometimes gets amplified, but it's the best thing possible. I think our secondary played well last year because they went against, I think, the best receiving core in the league and the best quarterback. And so that competition will help both sides get better. Looking at it, after the offensive line, probably our backup quarterback position is going to be critical. We've got to play a guy this coming fall for our future. And, in case Derek gets banged up and can't go. Right now, there's not one guy I trust to go win a football game. And that's the blunt, honest truth. And we'll find out this fall who that guy's going to be. We'll develop one, but right now we don't have that guy. And then on defense, I like the strides that Charles Washington made. I think he can be a big-time playmaker for us. I think Roddy Matthews is getting more and more comfortable, so I like where we're at there. Probably the outside linebacker or sandbacker position is probably the only position that was up in the air a little bit. We got to find one this coming fall.
Coach, what did you think of before the game started, having family and kids out here and everything like that?
I thought it was awesome. I want to thank the Real California Milk folks for sponsoring it. It was great. We had chocolate milk out here for our players, our staff, for the kids coming out. Our players had a ball, interacting with the kids. Sometimes you ask players to do that, and at other places I've been, you have to drag them down here. Our guys had a ball with the kids. They had posters for them to sign. I thought, and I don't know who was in charge of the weather, but they did a great job. So a lot better than a year ago, and it was really a great event for our players to get to know the kids in town, and hopefully our kids get a connection with our players.